Hi, happy Wednesday. It's another episode of Worth It Wednesdays. Boy, today's oil I'm using is tangerine. I've been super into the citrusy oils, this very spring-like, and they're just so uplifting right now. Tangerine was one of the citrus oils in the starter kit, in the Citrus Fresh starter kit, and I knew, there's just something super sweet about tangerine that I just absolutely loved. I just find it's just always puts you in a good mood, the citrusy ones. And also the citrus oils are relatively inexpensive because it's so much easier to extract the oil from citrus fruit rinds than it is from some of the other oils and some of the other methods, like the ones that come from flower petals or dry plants and trees. So anyway, today I wanted to talk about something that's, I've talked a lot in my videos in the past about kind of my own journey with yoga and kind of how yoga has really helped me immensely in terms of coming to peace with this body I'm in and the body that I'm going to be in for the rest of my life, and sort of coming to appreciate it, even if not falling in love with it, at least sort of having a relationship of appreciation and awe. And yoga is one of those things that, while I used to shy away from it because I was always worried about whether or not I was good or bad, it's really become kind of a cornerstone for me in terms of my mental health, especially now when I think living in the moment is so important. And living in the moment, mindfulness, meditation, I feel like that's a whole other video, but maybe next week. But I wanted to start since, as some of you know, I've been training to become a yoga instructor, and that's still going on. And so, I would love to be able to put all this together into a class someday. But right now I just wanted to kind of pinpoint some of my favorite poses and talk about a little bit about the benefit. They're super easy to do, and just kind of get you to sort of experience in your body what some of these are like. So the first pose I decided to talk about is the standing forward bend. In the Sanskrit is Uttanasana. So I'm actually going to get out of my chair and I want to show you this bend because this is the very first pose I do every morning when I wake up. I come down in the kitchen waiting for my coffee, and you can't see it, but what I'm doing is putting my hands together and I'm just reaching up into the sky, stretching really tall, and then hinging at my hips. I reach my hands forward ahead of me as I hinge in my hips and very, very slowly bend down all the way into a forward bend, and then I just hang there. And you can see maybe your hands, when you do this, maybe your hands touch the ground. If they do, congratulations. That means you have long arms, or it means you have, you were born with flexible hamstrings. It has nothing to do with whether or not you are good at yoga. And just like if you hang like this, it has nothing to do with whether you are bad at yoga. It says nothing about your relationship with yoga or your body. All it does is say, hey, maybe you're a little more flexible, you have longer arms. So hanging here, always have a little slight bend in your knees. Dead straight, you're going to worry about locking your knees. So give a slight bend in the knees, and it feels really good to just hang here. You can grab your shoulders and what's called ragdoll, kind of bounce around a little bit. And it's just a wonderful stretch for your hamstrings and your calves and your back. And if you bend your knees a little bit, you'll notice a much deeper bend in your hips and your back. And then you straighten your legs and then bend. And if you do that a few times, kind of notice the difference and notice where there are parts in your body that are stretching differently. And if you can feel that, if you notice that at all, congratulations. That means you're good at yoga, because that is your mind and body talking to each other and tuning in. And that is much more of an indicator of whether or not you are good at yoga than how flexible you are. So just hang here for a minute, and then coming out of this pose, whenever you're ready, sometimes I like to be in here for a while. Just really slowly roll out of it, vertebrae by vertebrae. Just imagine your spine inside of your body and just sort of visualize those vertebrae stacking one by one. And eventually, as you come to stand, let your skull be the last to come up as it stacks over the top of your neck. And you can stand in mountain pose in Uttanasana. And that is forward bend. And so, I mean, the benefits of forward bend, just that one pose, are great for this time period. It's a really, I mean, not only does it do a really nice stretch on your hamstrings, your calves, and your back, and it's so, you know, for me, especially at my age, like, it's a great pose first thing in the morning. Really just sort of gets all that sleep out of me. Anytime during the day, it's a great pose for relieving fatigue, relieving any kind of anxiety, sluggishness, that midday slump when you feel like taking a nap and you can't. The forward bend is actually a really kind of invigorating pose, even though, you know, you're not really doing anything. That and a glass of water. But it's also a really great pose for relieving stress, relieving depression, and the bend is also really, you know, massages your internal organs, and so it's really great for improving your digestion and improving your circulation, which in turn improves your immunity. The other thing about a forward bend is the fact that it's actually an inversion. And I know a lot of the time we talk about inversions in yoga, people think like headstands and handstands, and they might get a little nervous about inversions. But anytime you're in a pose where your heart is above your head, it's considered an inversion. So a forward bend and downward dog are both inversions. And the benefits of an inversion, in addition to all of the things I was talking about originally with the forward, all of the other benefits of the forward fold, is that, you know, anytime your head is below your heart, you're kind of relieving the flow. You know, you're letting gravity aid the flow of blood that normally is always working upwards against gravity all day long when you're standing or sitting. And so you're relieving the lymphatic system, you're relieving the blood flow that goes to your heart and to your brain. And so those are, you know, it's just a wonderful way to help out your circulatory system. So I hope you liked that. I don't know, I was kind of thinking of like things I could do and thought that would be nice to share that pose. It's such a juicy one. So if you liked it, let me know. If you're like, no thanks, forget it. We'd rather have you sit in front of a desk and talk. I get it. I love to listen to me talk too. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, let me know how it goes. If you like that pose, what are some other poses you love? And what are some other poses that are helping you? And I will see you next week. All right. Have a great week. Bye.